A lot of men would like to think, oh, Miss Kitty cuss man. I don't cuss men. I honor men. I honor kings. But as for the opportunists, the abusers,
Miss Kitty Live Connect.
So I'm sure that many persons would have seen a video going around of a man who we now know in the video is alleged to be a member of parliament of Westmoreland Central. And the news broke because there was an investigation as to who this person was, and it was alleged that it was a member of parliament. They have confirmed the same. I also saw where the Minister of Gender, Entertainment, Sports, Olivia Babsy Grange, commented in Parliament. And when I saw they lit them with fire and that the woman was receiving, I said to myself, you see it? These are the things. Calico, there are too many women who have been killed, murdered, slaughtered, butchered by the very men with whom they laid. And I'm sure and certain if they could turn back the hands of time, they would have extricated themselves from that situation before it ended up there. Many women have been murdered, slaughtered, butchered, killed, dead gone, leave their children to the mercy of the world. And no matter if your grandmother grow you or your auntie grow you, there is nothing like a mother's love. I'm not talking about fake mother. I'm not talking about carrier. I'm talking about mother will give birth to you and love you and have that connection. And when I encourage women and implore women to have a sense of independence, working hard for what you want, not being a dependent, these are the disrespectful situations that I don't want women to be in. And even if you find yourself in a situation, because we have no crystal ball, we don't know what the future holds, and sometimes you take up these men, they are sheep, or wolf rather, in sheep clothing, and so you don't know at the onset the monster with whom you're dealing. But I want women to understand that physical violence, mental abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse is never okay. But I take it a step further. I want women to understand that they ought not to be an enabler or a facilitator to these kinds of situations, because at some point in Calico, as women, we have to take responsibility for what we allow to happen to us, or the situation that we enable and create and facilitate for these things to happen. A lot of men would like to think, oh, Miss Kitty cuss man. I don't cuss men. I honor men. I honor kings. But as for the opportunists, the abusers, and the broke not gonna we want them, I will always not support that at all. Everybody I look for step up in their life, and everybody wants better for themselves. Why should I encourage women to take up punkus pampankas, take up problem and take up projects and patient? I'm not a rehabilitation center for anybody's son at all. I'm not a project manager. I'm not an architect. I'm not a structural engineer. The time I'm going to take to build you, I'm building myself and building my dreams. First of all, in order to build with someone, you have to have a plan. Some men have no plan whatsoever. Some women don't have a plan either. To build with someone, you need a plan. We need a blueprint. Yeah, man, we build with you. Build what though? You have no tools. You're not no shovel. You're not no shovel. You're not no level. You're not no steel. You're not no black no cement. That tell us too long and nothing more. What are we gonna build with? You have no education. You have no skill. You have no ambition. You have no drive. You have no desire for the better things in life. Exactly what am I gonna build with? Are we gonna build on the sand? What are we building? Because if the foundation isn't strong, Calico, the building is going to collapse. So should I take the best years of my life to build on sand, to only to realize that, oh my God, it was sand. And then I can't reclaim my time. And oh my God. And by the way, when I speak on a level playing field. Men shouldn't take up women who have no plans either. Women with no ambition or going anywhere. And Calico, this what frustrates me is when people, I speak in a holistic way. Obviously, I'm a woman, so I'm going to tend to speak more for women because I speak from a woman's perspective. But I also hold women accountable. I'm not giving women a free ride or a free pass in life. Because at the end of the day, if you are wanting a man to do something for you, ensure that you can first do it for yourself. If I want a man with a 6-pack, make sure you have a 6-pack. True, me know me have my 1-pack, my love. Me just go easy. If you require, my man have to drive, make sure you drive too, because, my man have to have a house. Well, make sure you have one too, somewhere. Whether rent, mortgage, whatever it is. So it's a level playing field. But I know that you have those who are myopic in their thinking and sad, and their lives are very sad. And I pity you. I sometimes when I'm looking at the mirror or I understand. Sometimes when you look at your life or life done, you have nothing, and other people around you younger than you, achieve and move up in a life. I understand it. It burns your soul. When you look at your little life and you're just happy and you're sad and miserable of company, and you know what I mean? And there are those persons who like to say, if you don't have a man and you don't have a picnic, you can't give advice about relationships. It's funny you say that. Glenn Mills, the Honorable Dr. Glenn Mills, is regarded as one of the greatest coaches on earth. He trains the greatest athlete as far as I'm concerned. Usain Bolt, the fastest man on the earth. He, Dr. Glenn Mills, has never run a race of that magnitude. He was never the number one. However, he has coached the number one. So your wisdom, your experience, your knowledge, your expertise fits you to be able to instruct and to guide. Many of the doctors who deliver babies, they've never had a baby, but they deliver the babies safely. I don't have to make every mistake in life to be able to give an advice or to give guidance and directives. So again, for the slow people with the low IQ, I'm talking to you. Because, again, when I don't hear truth, but I understand too, because sometimes it's not the message, it's the messenger. And that is why sometimes a lot of you end up stuck, stagnant, underachieved, and unhappy. Because instead of taking notes and listening, growing, developing, and looking, because you want to assassinate somebody's character, you try to demonize them. And you're not listening. And that is why you are where you are now. Glenn Mills was never the fastest man on the earth or, in the world. But he has coached the fastest man to win races wherever, all over the globe, where he's recognized. There are many coaches who have never played football, played basketball, but they can direct, and they're architects of success. So I know a lot of you are slow and get out of the block slow. But when I speak about women's rights, I do so without apology. Women deserve to get the best and give the best. I don't cuss men. I honor men. I honor kings. I honor men who are providers, men who are our cheerleaders, men who are supporters, men who honor us, men who treat us with respect and dignity that we deserve. You will never get me to big up men who abuse women, come to the table with little or nothing at all, and expect to get treated like kings when you're not treating women like queens. How dare you? If that is how you grew up, seeing your mother or those women around you being belittled, being taken advantage of, being abused, and you think that's normal, I'm here to tell you, newsflash, that's not normal. And that is why when you're dating a man, it's important to go and check his childhood, how he was raised, how he grew up. Because a lot of times, their mothers are the first example of how a woman should be treated. And so if your mother grew weak, if your mother was a dependent or a liability, or the women around you, or the men around you abused women, spoke down to women, trampled on women, have their feet or their knees in the necks of women, you're going to think it's normal. Ladies, that's not normal. I champion love. I champion respect. I champion reciprocity, because so you want to be treated, so should you treat others. Love is a two-way street, and I'm not going to allow anyone to dictate to me and tell me that, oh, if you don't do this, you're going to dead alone. If you don't have no man, you're less than. If you don't have no man, you have a man. And true, you're not good. Why you don't have no man? I have Jesus. I have him. I have it all. Because again, I'm sure a lot of the women who endure abuse on a daily basis, who have been murdered, butchered, or slaughtered, if they could turn back the hands of time, they would not want to be with someone who's going to take their lives. So them dead left them children, dead left their babies, and die leaving their family members. The video, we are just talking about these things last week. And so when people make it look like, oh, all men are innocent and, Miss Kitty does a bit hard on the man, no. How many times on my show you've heard me big up Calico, Damien, the many nationwide, Jermaine, L1 Dan, straight up. Because you have some real top man around and real top general who deserve every honor. What we say? Starch them underpants, clean up them ears, crush the banana, give him with little butter, burp him. Wash all him foot. Protect him, dedify him, cheerlead him, be him supporter, right? Be him Corinthian post. There are men that deserve that. And I will gladly give same. However, if you are Lucifer, if you're an opportunist, if you're an abuser of any kind, shape or form, you'll not be getting any submission here or endorsement here at all. I know some women have been immersed in situations where they think abuse is normal. I'm not normalizing that. I'm normalizing respect. I won't be normalizing toxicity. I won't be normalizing struggle love. I won't be normalizing abuse. It is time we lift up ourselves, raise ourselves, and demand better for ourselves. You have one life to live. And when you shall be asked about how you acquitted yourself, you must be able to say firmly that, Lord, I did my best. I gave my best and received the best.